What's going on? Happy Sunday morning to you. About 9:30 Central here. If you're tuning in from anywhere across the country or the world, good morning. I wanted to talk about two things this morning. Um, the first one is the power of leverage. And I know there's a lot of people that have talked about this, but if this is your first time hearing it, um, I want you to understand it and so I can explain it from my point of view. So, it's a concept that a lot of real estate investors know, and they keep secret. There are some that are out there that are preaching the gospel, right? Sunday morning, right? So what this is the power of leverage. So why are we buying real estate investments, right? What are the main reasons for us doing that? Well, number one, it needs to cash flow. Two, we have to have appreciation. There has to be an upside for our exit, whatever our exit looks like, whether that's a refinance or whether it's we're 1031ing it or selling it, paying capital gains, whatever. I'm sorry, you have to deal with my dogs here. Um, yes, I'm a DILF. I learned that new term the other day. I'm a dad dog. So, um, anyways, not to derail this conversation, but so the power of leverage. All right. So the power of leverage. Let's say we've got $20,000 to our name, and we want $20,000 to invest in a real estate asset, or the stock market, or a company, or something that you want to invest that you want to see some form of upside down in the future. Well, the reason why I choose real estate is because of leverage. So I'm going to take that $20,000 and let's say I want to invest it in the stock market. What happens on day one? So I take 20 grand, I invest it in the stock market. I'm going to get $20,000 worth of stocks. That's it. And if it goes up 10% in a month or 2 months, sweet, man. That's awesome. I made $2,000. Fantastic. Let's say it goes 10% up a year, right? I made $2,000 in that year. Let's say it pays a dividend of 4%, which is pretty good. Okay, awesome. I make 120 bucks a year plus the increase on that. All right. Well, here's my issue with that. One, um, you're investing in something that you can't control, that you can't touch, that you can't do anything with. So the control side for me is out the window. But if I take that $20,000 and I invest it into an asset class like real estate, all right, a couple things happen. I take 20 grand, let's just use round numbers here. I'm investing in $100,000 house. So you with me so far? So the stock market, I took 20 grand, I invested in $20,000 for the stocks. Now I'm taking the same 20 grand, and instead of stocks, I'm putting it in real estate. And in real estate, I buy a $100,000 house. I now have a mortgage on that thing for $80,000 because I want the bank's going to take out their position. I'm bringing my capital to the table. Now, what happens if it increases 10% in that same year? It increases 10%. It is now up to $110,000, not $22,000. So we have a 10% increase. Okay, so you with me so far? So now you have $10,000 of equity, and you had your mortgage. Now, where'd your mortgage go? Is that staying at 80, or is it getting paid down by the tenant or the guest in this case? Like I choose Airbnb. It's getting paid down. So let's say it gets paid down roughly $2,100 in that first year. So what just happened there? We created $12,100 of equity. And if you have a $20,000 down payment, that's over a 50% cash on cash return. So what happens if you hold that house for 10 years? And we're going to hit another doubling cycle soon. So you hit another doubling cycle, which means the value of the real estate doubles. Okay. And it turns into a $200,000 asset. Guys, I've seen it happen. I've been in the game for 20 years. I don't care what anybody else is saying. This is what I'm saying. In 7 to 10 years, real estate will double across America. So now I took 20 grand, I invested into the asset, and I'm up to a $200,000 asset. In, let's say, 10 years, I paid that down all the way to $55,000. So 200K minus 55K is $145,000 off of a $20,000 investment. let's say on the stock side of things, it let's say it doubles, or even fuck it, triples. It triples, and instead of 20 grand, it's now 60. So the difference being is that the stock market that you invest in, or the stocks that you invested in, are now worth, let's say, 40 or $60,000. And yes, you could sell it like that tomorrow, and you can get your capital. Real estate takes a little bit longer to exit. Um, you're sitting at a much different rate. And what I mean by that is the cash on cash return is drastically different. And I'm sorry if I'm doing a bad job explaining this. I'm usually better with a whiteboard. But the point I'm trying to make here is that you're investing in real estate for a reason. It's for the upside, it's for the cash flow, it's for the appreciation, and it's for the depreciation. So we weren't even talking about the monthly cash flow that you were making on this asset. Let's say you're making $1,000 a month. If you're choosing Airbnb, that's what you can make, or even a midterm rental, right? Um, that's something that's overlooked all the time. 60, 90-day stays, right? You can usually get double or 2.5 times normal rent for a midterm furnished rental where you're covering the utilities and everything. Okay, so what I'm talking about here, number one, cash flow, the reason we invest in real estate. Number two, there's got to be some form of upside. Number three, there has to be depreciation. And number four, there has to be appreciation. And appreciation means the value is going to increase over time. So, with that said, do you think that the government's going to figure out how to solve their problems, stop printing money, stop sending money to wars that aren't ours, or doing all these things that they can't fix? The U.S. government is absolutely ridiculous. Yes, I don't want to pay them any taxes that I can't. I follow the tax code the way that it was designed. But the reason I try like hell not to pay any taxes because they mismanage it like a bunch of morons. You could give them $10 trillion and they'll spend it tomorrow on something ridiculous. So why would I fight like hell to give them money when they're just going to be idiots with it? And I have no control. Yeah, sure, you're electing those officials. Well, all politicians are self-centered people. They're only looking out for themselves and their special interests. Very rarely will we ever see a politician that is out for the people. Because if he was out for the people, he probably wouldn't get elected because he doesn't have the most money and he's not the most popular. So it was not a political speech today. I am just trying to tell you that there are some serious benefits to be investing in real estate. And I choose Airbnb, guys. And I've got this seminar on Tuesday. If you want to come in, grab a bunch of free information, sweet. Sign up. Let's do it. If you have some questions about this and you want to have a one-on-one call with me, reach out to me, drop me a DM, give me your email, cell phone number, and we can set up a call and chat about it. Guys, I've been in the game a while now. I've done everything from fix and flips to wholesales, trailers, land deals, farm deals, multifamily, single family, all this stuff. And I'm up to, I looked at our portfolio. We're up to 37 assets now that we manage. I say we, I mean me and my wife. I'm throwing me in there because I like to say I do most of the work, but I truly don't. She works her ass off on those. And so we still have some long-term rentals. We still have some midterm rentals, and mostly short-term rentals. And the point I'm trying to make is that I only want to do the short-term rental side of the business anymore because it is the most lucrative for me. Doing the long-term game, the long-term tenants, that's tricky, man. Maybe I'm just not the best landlord. I don't know, man. I mean, I got, a phone call over the weekend about a sewer backed up and she's screaming at me. Mind you, this lady didn't pay her rent last month. I've had to evict a lady that trashed my house last year. I'm not saying that short-term rental doesn't have its challenges and issues too. People smoking marijuana in the house is a big one. They say they're only bringing 5 people and they bring 10. They break stuff, but the difference is I have the cash to pay for all those things. So one house that we have over in St. Charles, we made $9,200 last month minus expenses, but we netted over $5,000. I just can't trade that for the long-term scenario. No matter how hard we work, I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep working harder on the Airbnb side of the business because it is so much more lucrative. And, I do get that from time to time. People are like, man, there's this Airbnb bust going on and all these different things. And I'm not seeing it. Maybe in Scottsdale or Miami or LA or Denver, Colorado, or some of these markets where or Kansas City, it just got obliterated and saturated beyond its means. Sure, everybody flocks to those areas, but why aren't you picking towns that nobody knows of that have like 4 Airbnbs in town, but they have 10 hotels? Like, why do you have to pick a town where everyone knows the area? Guys, if it's got 10 hotels and hardly any Airbnbs in town, I'm investing in that, hands down. I don't need to do any more research. I'm going to that market and I'm going to dive in and I'm going to figure out, okay, wait, the government doesn't allow it. Okay, is there an unincorporated area? What's the sistering town? Oh, they allow it? Oh, okay, it's pretty rural. All right, boom, Airbnb it. Well, why? Why, Matt? Well, if all those hotel companies spent all that money developing those assets, scouting it out. Guys, I've seen these comprehensive studies that they've done. They're over 100 pages long. They talk about traffic patterns and weather and draws to the community. They talk about interstate access and the amount of people that they know that travel on this direction versus this direction and how they turn in and how they turn out of an asset or a piece of land. Guys, these comprehensive studies are in the 6 figures. And so if a hotel is going to spend that much money and then they're going to drop 12 to 15 million to build it, that tells me that there's something going on in that town. So you need to follow some of these patterns, guys. It's not rocket science, and you do have to put yourself out there a little bit. And if you don't know how to do it, you need to find someone that does. Maybe that's me. If you're part of my tribe and you're interested in learning this game, dude, I'd love to share it with you, right? But that's it. Today I'm going to go spend some time with the family. I appreciate you guys signing on and listening to me ramble about, the power of leverage. Got a seminar coming up. It's a webinar. It's going to last about an hour. It's on Tuesday evening. If you're interested in jump on and let's chat some more. So anyways, with that, have an awesome rest of your Sunday and let me know if I can help.